And we are live. Yes, we are live. Hey, Shyam, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah,
Nice.
and this is my third time in the Twitch stream.
Yes, I love it. Keep coming. And everyone watching, what are you joining from? What time is it for you? Shyam, what time is it for you?
It's 8 p.m. IST. So in yeah,
That is commitment. I love it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it that you take your time from your busy schedule and you join here to show us things. I really, really, really appreciate everyone. All right. So let me see some people in the chat so we can know that you are here. Not yet. They're still waking up like me. I'm still waking up. um, I've said a lot of times I'm not a morning person. It's 10:30 a.m. for me, but I'm still waking up. I have my tea with a lot of caffeine so I can wake up. All right. Well, while we get some people in the chat, why don't you tell me a little bit about oh, we're getting people. A little bit about you, Shiam, and what have you been doing lately? What are you up to?
so currently I'm working in engineering leader in Tricon Infotech, Bangalore locations. So I'm a MuleSoft mentor, and even I have done the 5 certification in the MuleSoft ecosystem. Even last month I've done the certification for Salesforce Associate also. So and also my architect exam is going to be expired next month, so I have to renew that one also by this month.
Yeah.
So
How was the Salesforce one?
yeah, that was easy one. So I've
Oh,
gone through the yeah, that is the easy one. Like even like I prepared for 2 days and I cleared that exam.
oh wow. Okay. So not like the MuleSoft ones.
That was the associate exam, so that is the very basic one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. Maybe I'll take it. All right, we're getting people. Hi, Vishal. Hi, Surendra. Hi, Swati. Hello, Arif. Hi, Vinay. Hi, Aniket from
Yeah.
Twitch. Hello. Alrighty, so we're getting people. People are awake. We can get started then. So,
Okay.
what are we doing today, Shiam?
So today I'll be covering tracing module, like how we can trace anything through logs. So we have some correlation ID. With correlation ID, we can like trace the logs in multiple system. Like we have three applications, right? Experience layer, process layer, and uh, system API. So how we can trace? Today I'll be covering all those use cases with demo. So let me share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
So hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay. So before coming to tracing module, maybe I will create a, dummy application in the Anypoint Studio, and we will see like how the correlation ID come into the picture. Okay. So here you can see like uh, there will be some correlation ID. So just I'm going to create a one new project. Okay. Just click on finish. Okay. I'm going to just add a listener, drag and drop. Okay. And then we have to add the connector configuration. Just I'm going to click on that one. click on OK. And here I'm going to pass that path as trace. Okay. And then I'm going to add a simple logger. Okay. And then I will add payload in the log. Okay. I will run this application. Then I will come to know I will show you that how the correlation ID is coming into picture. Then we will explore the tracing module later. So it will take some time. Okay. And also in the HTTP API, REST API call, we can pass the correlation ID in the HTTP header that maybe you can pick where we can pass. So here you can see in the Wikipedia the list of HTTP header fields. If you search correlation ID, that we have to pass in the field, you can see, yeah, that we have to pass as a header like x dash correlation dot id. Okay. Then you can that we can pass from the experience API layer also, or from any client they can pass their own correlation ID also. So this is like correlates HTTP request between a client and a server. So this is like identifier from this X correlation ID you can trace the logs like how it going. Okay, so let's see. The application is deployed. Okay, let me go to the postman and the endpoint which I have added. Okay, now just I'm hitting this one. So we are getting the same response because we have not added anything. And here you can see what are the body we are passing. We are getting the same response: order ID, customer ID, and items. And if you see the log, okay, so here you can see the log. We have something called mule runtime. Okay, and here you can see we have two things. One is processor and another is event. And this is the correlation ID. Okay, this is the correlation ID. With the help of correlation ID, we can trace the logs. If we are calling any another applications, like from this application, we are calling any third-party application, there also we can see that this correlation ID is passed to that application. Okay, let me create a dummy application hello world in the AnyPoint platform. So what I am going to do, I will deploy one dummy application. Okay, that will be hello world. Today's date is June 13. Okay, and I don't have any jar, so I will import that file from the exchange, and I will search for example. And if you search for hello world, okay, just select that one, and you can deploy this one. Okay, I have selected private space. Let me deploy one more applications. Hello world. Yes. Input from exchange example that I have to search in hello world. You can see this in the view in the exchange also. So this is nothing. just we have added a listener and there is a logger, and just we are setting a payload like hello world. So you can access after the deployment, you can access the URL with localhost 8081 hello world in the local system. If you are deploying into the any point platform, just you have to get the URL and then you can append the hello world. Okay, so let me select this one, and not in shared space. I will deploy into the cloud hub. Yeah. So I have made this application name is hello world trace. Okay, let's see. We have to wait for some time. Anyway, like this will be like very small topic. We have very enough time, and I will cover all the scenarios. So here you can see like it is starting the cloud hub worker. Okay, and also here you can see like this is the event ID, that is correlation ID. This feature like this one, this is mentioned in the log4j.xml file. If you go log4j.2.xml file, so here you can see in the pattern layout, the pattern is here you can see these are the for the time and this thing, and after that you can see the processor. So here you can see the processor same is printed and the processor path. So here you can see the processor path is getting printed. Then we have event. Here you can see the event, and then we have some correlation ID. Here you can see correlation ID that is printed here. Okay. If you hit this URL again, let's hit the URL again, and you will see that um, this correlation ID is changed. Here you can see that is starting from E. Now it is starting from 853. Okay. Even it's deployed. Mm, yeah, your application is started. So we have to get the URL. So this is the URL. Okay, let me open in the new tab. And this, and we have to append hello world. Okay. And so this is HTTPS, and we have deployed into 8081 folder. So that will be HTTP. So here you can see we are getting the response hello world. Okay. And if you see the logs there also you will see yes, here you can see the info, and here you can see some log is generated A611920. So this is a correlation ID. Okay. If you hit again this endpoint, so here you can see like the log is one more log will be generated, and that will be with different correlation ID. So here you can see earlier it was starting from A, now it is starting from B. And also like uh, in the application in which we are running in the MuleSoft applications, so here you can see we are passing that one. You can pass it this value from the URL uh, in the header section also. So here you can see X correlation ID is there. If I will pass Shyam, okay, my name, so you will see that the correlation ID will be printed as Shyam there. Let's see in the application. So here you can see like the processor name is same, and the event you can see the correlation ID. You can see the which we are passing the correlation ID that is getting printed here, Shyam. If you change that one, like this value, if you change that one, 1 2 3 4 something, that will be getting printed there. Okay. So here you can see now the correlation ID is Shyam1234. That is getting passed from the uh, REST API call, and that is we are passing from header, that is X correlation ID. Okay. So how we can trace this application if we have multiple system? So suppose we have something experience API, then we are calling PAPI. Okay. Then we have something SAPI. So some correlation ID we are passing from here, like you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, and in all the logs which is generated through that event, that will be, you can see the logs through that correlation ID in experience API. Then it will be passed to PAPI also if we are using a HTTP REST endpoint or VM or uh, you can say JMS. So these are supporting, like they can pass. So same correlation ID will be passed to PAPI and same correlation will be passed to SAPI also, like system API. Let's see it is getting passed or not. Mm, okay. So what I will do, I'm not using currently any tracing module. Just I'm showing you how it is getting past the correlation ID. So I will add one more request, that is HTTP request here, and in the request I will pass this hello world, which this application which we have deployed in the endpoint platform. Okay, so I will use this endpoint. Okay, just you can go to the URL and you can just paste it out. Okay, so here you can see like URL I am using like HTTP, same URL hello world, and the response which we will get the response in when we hit this URL. And also here you can see send correlation ID, that is empty. Okay, it has, for by default it will be empty. The correlation ID which this flow has, that will be passed to this request also. Okay, let's go with default. Okay, and I've saved it, so it will do the deployment. Uh, if you have any dot or any question, you can ask till then.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. Okay. So here you can see like I'm selecting this, unselecting this one, X correlation ID, and I will hit this one. So we are getting the hello world response, which is coming from this applications. Okay. Now see the correlation ID. Okay. So here you can see the correlation ID is, here you can see that is starting from 5ED something, you can see. Okay. And this one, and now we can check the same logs here also. The same, here you can see that is starting from 5ED and ending from 47. The same correlation ID here you can see starting from 5ED and ending from C47. So here you can see validate. So in this way, like if you are using multiple applications, and uh, so in this way you can trace the logs. Okay, so if you have to validate the logs for this event, you can like validate the using the help of correlation ID. Okay, now come to the tracing module. Okay, and also here you can also see if you are passing the X correlation ID is equal to Shyam 1234, let me add 5 also. The same will be passed to from uh, any point studio application to these applications, like which we have deployed in the anypoint platform. Okay, Let me hit this one. We got the hello world, but in this case, we have passed the correlation ID as Shyam12345. Okay. So here you can see the event that correlation ID is Shyam12345, and this same correlation ID is passed to that any point platform application also. If you go there, so here you can see uh, we got the new hit, and the same correlation ID is passed to this application. So in this way, like you can see, like we can pass the same correlation ID into the experience API layer, to process API layer, and then system API layer. And with the help of correlation ID, you can find out the logs related to that event. Okay. Hope this one will be useful. Let's come to the tracing module. Okay. So in the connector, you can find tracing module. Okay. So tracing module, like it will enable three things. You can add custom log also. You can remove that custom logs into the context. Okay. And you can clear all the variables. So there are three things. First is add, remove, and if you have added all the variables, that you can remove all the variables from this clearing all variables. Then we have a something, you can modify the correlation ID also. So there is one module called with correlation ID, which will be useful for any point MQ. Okay. So if you see that any point MQ connector, there is no option that you have to send correlation ID. If you see JMS, BM, or HTTP connector, in all these three applications, in all these connectors, you will see that send correlation ID is there. So we don't have to worry about much about how we can pass the correlation ID. But for any point MQ, you can modify the correlation ID. So there is a one called with correlation ID that I will show you, but I cannot demo that one, but you can try it out. And the same correlation ID which is coming, we can pass it into the any point MQ also. Okay, let's see. I will stop this application, and even like this, let it be there. Okay. First, you have to go to the add modules, and here you will see tracing. Just drag and drop here, and here you can see like there are four things. Like first one is set logging variable, remove logging variable, clear logging variable with correlation ID. Okay. So first I will try this one, like set logging variable. Before that one, uh, let me go to that tracing module applications. So what we have to do the configurations. Okay. Okay. So here also you can see I mentioned like there is a one thing called with correlation ID that will be useful for uh, a- any point MQ. Okay. I've added these things. Okay. Now in the log4j, we have to use change this one, this setting like processor, event, and this thing. We have to switch back to MDC, that is mapped diagnostic context. Okay. So that is simple like key value pair that you can add here. So here in the log section, you will see that this will be the key and there will be value. So you can add multiple variable also in this log context. You can remove that one and you can remove all that variables also. So what we have to do, like even I have written an article on this one. So if you search teaching module mule 4 and this one you can see I have written one article on this one also. So first thing you have to do like this thing you have to replace with percentage MDC, that is mapped diagnostic context. Okay, let me go there and modify this one. App replace that one percentage MDC and let me save it and let me run this application again and you will see the difference how it is getting printed. But here you can see I have done these changes, but here you can see this will be applicable on the rolling file. So this will be only reflected in the logs file which is present in these locations. Okay, and this will not be printed in the console. Here you can see like appender if is equal to file. So sometimes people are trying this tracing module and they will not be able to see that MDC logging in the console. So we have to add that in the appender and here also we have to add that in the rolling file. Like one more appender we have to add that is for the console. Okay, that is fine. Here also you can see here this is the locations where we have mule runtime. If you go to the terminal and you can type open. So here you can see like here you can see the apps, the application which is getting deployed. You can see that application name here tracing and the logs will be available here. So here you can see the logs and here you can see the tracing.log. Let me open it in Sublime text editor. Okay, let me clear this one. Let me hit one more time this one and we are getting the hello world. Okay, that is fine. And if you see the log, I think let me open this again. So here you can see now the after the MDC logging changes, here you can see that logging we are getting is correlation ID and here you can see the correlation ID and then we have a processor path that is tracing flow and something like that. If you see the same thing in the console, okay, if you go to the same thing into the console, but here you will see the different log. Here you can see the processor, okay, and then we event. So this one is not reflected in the console. So and here you can see the difference. Like here you can see like key value pair. So here you can see that key is correlation ID and then we are getting that value. Then we have a processor path. Here you can add uh, more variable also. You can remove that variable also and this thing. So how we can enable this the same feature into the console? So that one also I have updated here. So you have to do this thing we have to add that console after the rolling file. Just you have to refer my blog, that is okay. And after that, we have to append here also. So here you can see I have mentioned that one also. Okay. Once this is done, you can restart the application and see the same thing. In it will take some time for the deployment. Is there any question?
No, but I have a question for you. Have you tried any point code builder?
No.
No.
maybe,
Okay.
maybe next time I will try and I will come to the show.
That's all right. I was just curious about your point of view.
Even like I have written lots of article. Maybe one by one I will come every month and cover those article.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps getting new features, so that's fine.
Yep, yep. So here you can see like my application is deployed, and let me hit this one, and here you can see the same log you will see in the console also, like correlation ID, key value pair, and the processor path. Okay. So we have seen this one. Now let's come to the tracing modules operations. So first I will try this one, like set logging variable. Okay. Okay. So here you can see like variable name. So in the payload you can see like we are passing something called order ID. Okay. I will set this order ID into the logging context. So it will be easy to track, like we are getting this order. You can easily track that one. Okay. So this is the order, but from where we are getting that value? Uh, Payload, and this is the order ID. Okay. So this variable we are adding, setting the logging variable, that is order ID, and let's save it. It will get redeployed, and then we will hit the same endpoint and we will see the difference. Like here you can see correlation ID and processor path is there. Okay. It's done. If you go there, that is not deployed. Okay, let me hit one more time. Maybe I have to stop it and then we have to check it. This is not getting set, so we have to stop the application and then let me try. Okay, let me hit that one. we're getting some order ID and mm, okay, yeah, here you can see I was checking here that log, but this is the log which is the first log where we have not set this variable. So here you can see like in the correlation ID, and we have added that order ID also, that is also getting added into the log context. Here you can see order ID is equal to 284. If you change that variable, like here you can see, uh, let's modify that one and then hit again. So here you can see like 845, that will be added there. Okay. So here you can see it is taking time. Okay. I'm not sure like why that is not coming here. I'm getting that it is getting cached or something like that. Not sure. Okay. So this is the one flow, like setting the order ID. You can check the logs there also, and we can validate that. Here you can see that same correlation ID is getting passed, but here we are using the earlier approach, not MDC. So that is logged as event, and there is no process. This is the processor path. Hello world. Okay. Now you can add multiple logging variable also. Let's add one more. That will be, maybe we can, you can check here. uh, We can add request path, and the value will be like this one. That will be that is there also. You can check here. So you can, I'm using the same example which is available in the MuleSoft documentation. So I'm not doing any extra thing. So here you can see the request path. So we can create another variable called uh, request path. Okay. And then we are going to pass, here you can see like you can set the value is equal to this one. Okay. So here you can see like in the request path, it will print that attributes dot method. So it will print that the method is post. So it will print post and then the request path. Okay. And let me save it and let me stop it, and then we can start this application again. So now you will see like there will be two logging variable will be set. Okay. Maybe we have to add one more logger here so that we can see. One second. That is not getting printed because there is no logger after that. So we cannot see that one. So let's add here one more logger and one logger here. And here you can see after request path. Let me stop this one. So in this one, you will see only the two things. One is processor and correlation ID. In this one, here you can see extra thing, that is order ID. But here you can see there will be two variable. One is order ID and the variable which we have set here, request path. So here you will see two more variables. Okay. And anytime you can remove that logging variable also. So we have feature called remove logging variable. So if you don't need that logging variable, just you have to use remove logging variable. And if you have to remove all the logging variables, then you can use clear logging variable. So in this way, like you can set something that is coming from the payload, and that will help to debug the logs, maybe order ID or something. So if we hit this endpoint again, so here you can see this log is for this one. Okay. Then we have one more log that is after order ID variable. So here you can see one is correlation ID, then order ID, and then processor path. Okay. Then after that, here you can see we have added one more logger that is after request path. Okay. So here you can see like we have the correlation ID, then order ID, then processor path, and then request path, that is post, and the method is trace. So here you can see this is the post method, and the path is trace, so that is getting printed there. So if you need to remove one of the variable called uh, order ID after this call, you can remove that one also. So here you can see like this is after this some warning is there. Maybe let me add after this one more. After HTTP request, and I will before that one I will remove one of the variable. Okay, remove logging variable. So here you can see that is that we have to pass the variable name which we have created as order ID. So you have to use the same variable name and save it. It will be deployed again. So in this way, like from the payload, you have anything like order ID or order number or something. If it is related to the customer, then you can set this context into the you can create a logging variable and you can reuse it for the debugging purpose. Okay, so here you can see like this one is started. Let me hit this one again. We got the response. So here you can see after order variable, here you can see order ID is there. After that, you can see order ID and request path is there. Here you can see like after HTTP request, we have removed that order ID variable. So here you can see that order ID is removed, and you can see only the request path, which we have added here. Now you can use that one also, like clear logging variables. So if you use this one, it will remove all the variable which you have created here, like the order ID and request path. Let's save it and try it out. So yeah, this one is started, and if you hit this one, and here the last request, you will see there is no logging variable. So you will see only the correlation ID and processor path. And here you can see that order ID variable is there. In this one, request path will be there. So we have used clear logging variable. So that's why it is not there. Maybe I will remove this one and I will use that with correlation ID. Just you have to drag and drop. Okay. And here you can see with correlation ID. What are the value you are getting it for correlation ID? You can append something, you can change. Okay. So here you can see like we are getting some correlation ID and then we are appending it as Shyam. And we can add here one more variable, a logger inside. Let me stop the application. Sometimes, yeah. And here we will pass some message with correlation ID. Okay, so here you will see that whatever the correlation ID which we are getting, that will be appended with Shyam. Let me run this project again. So using the help of with correlation ID, you can any point MQ features like publish and consume, that you can put it here. And with correlation ID, like the correlation ID which is coming from here, you can use using this one with correlation ID, that will be printed into the logging context, this correlation ID. And any point MQ will generate another correlation ID that will be also there. Okay. Uh, and even I will show you that in BM also it will be automatically getting past that correlation ID, and JMS also. I will show that configuration so it will be more clear. So if we hit this endpoint again, and here you can see this is that after HTTP request, but here you can see with correlation ID, and here you can see this is the correlation ID is coming, but and we have modified that one. Just we have added Shyam. So the correlation ID which is coming, you can modify that one or you can use the existing one with the help of with correlation ID. Okay. In the any point MQ, we have to use in this way so that it will be printed into the any point MQ flow. And if there is any error handling part, that will not be part of this one. So in the sections, you will see that any point MQ generated correlation ID, not this with correlation ID. Okay. So this is the thing which I'm going to cover. Like I've covered all these four operations, but I will show you that two more modules like JMS and VM. I'm not going to demo it, but I will show you that. I will drag VM. So here you can see I've added the VM module. And if you add publish here, so if you go to the publish setting, you can see that send correlation ID, that is empty. So by default, the correlation ID coming from this, that will be passed to this JMS, BM publish and consume also. Okay. And similar, we have seen in the HTTP request also, send correlation ID, that is empty. The same correlation ID which we have seen in the demo also in the endpoint applications. Now let's see JMS part. I've added, here also you can see if we add publish. Okay. So here also you can see send correlation ID is empty. So we can use the existing correlation ID. But when we add any point MQ, that is not there. We have to go to the exchange, and let me add that one also. I will show you that there is no option of correlation ID in the any point MQ settings. Okay, let me add that one. So here you can see any point MQ is added, and I will drag and drop publish. So in the publish, there is no option of correlation ID which will be passed from here in any setting. MIME type, advanced, anywhere you can see there is no setting such as send correlation ID. So we have to wrap it up with correlation ID. Okay. Let me go to that tracing module, and here you can see. So you have to use inside that one, and in the with correlation ID, you can pass that the existing correlation ID which is coming from this flow, that will be used for the logging context. You can at least try it out. So I don't have access to the anypoint MQ, and I'm not going to cover that one. Yeah, that's it from the tracing module. If anyone having any doubt, they can ask. Hope this is more clear today, this topic.
Yeah, there weren't any questions, so I think everyone understood. I hope.
Maybe I have gone through like demo slow, and I've covered all the points.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, that was awesome. At least you cleared my questions because I hadn't used the tracing module before. So
Okay.
that's good.
You
I
are
learned.
learning something new with my Twitch stream.
Yeah, yeah. Every time that someone comes on a stream, I learn something new. So thank you all for teaching me stuff.
And also, like apart from this, I'm running a page called, which I can showcase in the LinkedIn. I'm running a page called Data with Fun. So if you see this page, so I'm trying like within a week, I will share one puzzles, one quiz questions. Here you can see one poll question is there, but that will be like tricky one. After that, I will share the answers with the detailed explanation. And also, like if you see like this question also, uh, if you open this one, most of the people have answered wrong. So I'm trying to like uh, here you can see order by minus dollar. It is not applicable for the strings, so it is failing. And also you can see like most of the people have voted this one. For the string case, you have to use like after that dollar, you have to use -120. Then you will come to like descending order. And also like I'm sharing puzzles like weekly. Here is the answers for that poll. And also here you can see like I have shared the puzzle 7 till now. So here you can see like people have liked it. People have commented the answers also. I got lots of answers this time. You can see. And also like I'm sharing the some database concept also. Here you can see. So till now I have covered core modules, string module, array modules. Maybe next week I will try come to the tree modules and other modules, and maybe later I will start sharing some mm, examples related to the database. Short video on the database. One example, one video within 5 minutes. Not much. So you can like this page, and if you have any doubt, you can ask anytime. You can reach out to me. So this is my LinkedIn page. So you can search on my name, Shyam Prasad, and you can reach out to me. If you have any questions related to the MuleSoft, DataWave, anything, even you have any dots related to the Java or Spring Boot, you can reach out to me. Yeah, I think we are on time.
Yes. I was sharing your links. Alrighty. So
So
there you
here,
have it. Yep.
the analytics, we have post impression is 54K. That
Nice.
is huge. And we have new followers 471 in last 13 days, and we have 415 unique visitors in the last 30 days, and mm, search appearances 1.1K. So it speaks a lot.
Yeah. Awesome. Also, I got it wrong. I was one of the people that got it wrong. But okay. I try not to check them to see like if I can kind of understand. But yeah, I got it wrong. All
Okay,
right. Yeah, well, thank you so much, Shyam. This was awesome, and I'm sure a lot of people learned a lot, like me. So thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. Um, Especially because it's nighttime for you. So thank you so much for spending this time with us. I really appreciate it.
and also if you have any topic which you wanted me to explore, that one I can prepare on, that one I can come.
Yeah, for sure. Shyam can do it all. Thank you. All right. Well, that's all for this live stream. Remember to follow us in twitch.tv/MuleSoft_community. Why? Because we have all of the previous recordings there, and you will also get notifications as soon as we are live when you are following us. So go there, check it out. You can also see the schedule to see when we are coming live. The next stream will be on Thursday, 15, and we will be talking about architecture stuff. Yeah, global load balancing and resilience with Michael McDonald. So stay tuned for that. Follow us so you don't miss that stream on June 15, same time as today. So I will see you there. All right. Thank you so much, Shyam.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.